Hey guys, welcome to the Film Fan Critic. Today I'm going to start off a bit of a series with my mate, Dan.
So, check out my channel coming out, which will be The Game Fan Critic.
Hopefully, if you can be bothered, we are both massive slackers.
Pretty much.
As you can tell from my upload schedule, non-existent.
Inconsistent would be a better way of putting it.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is he likes video games, I like film, we both like TV, job done. Talk about news and shit and reviews. So, do you want to start off with your first video game?
Very good. I was going to start off with a game which has recently come out and which he was too much of a pussy to play it, so he made me play it instead, Outlast 2. Now, my general review and opinion of Outlast 2 is that it was decent. You know, it was an improvement over the first one, getting it improving graphics, improving gameplay, and generally having a more interesting and compelling story. Also, unlike the first game's protagonist, Miles, who walks in, looks at a big scary thing, sees loads of dead people and goes, "Oh shit, I better stay here and keep recording it like a fucking moron." Blake Langerman is a bit more smart. He crashes in a helicopter in the woods, sees a dead for his memory shit and says, "I better stay here and look for my bitch of a wife who's probably dead at this point." Anyway, this is our protagonist 101. Hey, walk into a dead room, there's a dead guy. I should stay in here. This is a good idea.
Horror movies and everything with horror has got the most stupid people.
It's true. I mean, if I walked in the opening moments of Outlast 1, mild spoiler alert if you're too much of a pussy to play, basically you climb up into a window and right there is a body impaled on a spike. I would have done the sensible thing, turning around, returning to my shitty car and going, no. Anyway, same unlike Outlast 2, where he unintentionally crashes when they were investigating, being actual reporters. Also, your camera plays a more predominant part in this game, seeing as unlike in the first one where it was just for looking around and seeing in the dark, you can now listen for voices. Ooh. I do feel that it's a bit less scarier than the first one, as that it's quite better paced, but that is a good thing because it's better paced in my opinion. Like, instead of jump scares, scary stuff, gooey stuff, gore everywhere, it's quite well paced, quite well timed. Like, you could be walking through a village and then you could be anticipating jump scares, but none will occur. So you'll continue walking through it, let your guard down, and then get jump scared by a lady big axe who decides to chop your balls off because she's bored.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, that's just what happened to me once. Anyway, my overall opinion of the story, if there was much of one, was that it was quite interesting, compelling, about a sadistic cult who decide to sacrifice babies. And about Rapey the Chipmunk.
Isn't that what you do on your Saturday afternoon?
Isn't that just any other day? You know, I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, have a quick strategical wank, and then I sacrifice a load of babies to our Lord Satan. Anyway, there is the other side of the faction.
Can I just say, disclaimer, we're not actually Satanists.
We're not. It's just a joke.
There's that brand of the internet who are just like, jokes don't exist.
We have no soul, we worship Overwatch. Anyway, that's for another part of the video later on. Anyway, my general opinion about Outlast 2, well, it was fairly good, given there were two factions. The warring faction on the left, who like sacrificing babies, and the ones who are right, who say, well, isn't sacrificing baby a bit problematic, seeing as you want to keep your numbers up? So there's the ones who murder babies, and there's the rapists. Yes, they're wonderful people, given that you meet their leader by her pinning you to the floor and licking your face.
How beautiful.
How wonderful and romantic, right in front of your wife. And then she decides to have sex with you, and you let her, because you're an idiot. Anyway.
Just like you.
Well, you know, I'm not that stupid. Anyway, that's the general gameplay. The gameplay is the exact same. Turning the corner. Oh shit, something's here. Oh look, giant crowbar. How do I use this crowbar to defend my... Oh, I can't. I have to run, because I'm a pussy. Scary.
Okay, so Outlast 1 is very famous, especially for its atmospheric setting.
Most definitely.
What about Outlast 2? Does it hold up?
Quite atmospheric, honestly. As I said, the sound design on that is quite well. However, I would suggest experiencing it with headphones, as for a TV speaker, the sound effects in that aren't as good. But with the headphones on, every creaking twig would make me look back with the ability to look behind me.
That's a given.
There were a few paranormal sections as well, which I won't go into too much details. There are big spoilers. Let's just say they had me looking at the screen and going, what the fuck was that?
Every time I look at your face.
Pretty much. Anyway, my general overview was that it was quite a solid horror game, and I don't think the marketing for the adult diapers was really necessary, although it was funny. My overall review and opinion is a solid 8 out of 10 for a good game. However, the fact that it is actually costing £20 instead of a solid £50 is definitely good for an indie game which is quite enjoyable and with more hours of gameplay than some $50 games. Overwatch! Anyway, so that's my first game review. Aaron, have you seen anything about Us 2? Do you know anything that goes on in it?
I've seen a few. I'm waiting for a specific YouTuber to do it. I watched our last one with it. I don't think he's done it yet. But I think he's focusing more on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Quite probably.
But I'm sort of scared to play it. I didn't play Outlast 1, but I know how to play it. I saw the gameplay, saw the type of playthrough. And it's just, if I played it, it'd have to be with him, and he's an absolute maniac.
Let's just say
my time horrible, even worse than it already would be. So
let's just say, if you wanted to see him do a let's play of the game, feel free to comment yes, make him do it, and I will make him do it.
I won't. Alright, films. First one is probably one of the first films I've actually seen in cinema, 2017. Which is, like, I haven't seen many films that were released this year, so a lot of films this year though, and it is Free Fire.
I have watched it online. It is quite a good film.
It is an absolutely amazing film.
I'm not sure why the critic is giving it such hate. I mean, I thought it was quite a decent movie.
Now, I'm going to go in a bit of a rant, okay?
Okay.
So be prepared. Okay, so let's go through this film. Let's start the first opening scene. So it opens up to characters, we understand who is who, what situation they are in. This is more the Irish side, then you're introduced to the other side. And let's be honest, it was absolutely hilarious. Can I get a validation?
Valid.
Then you have is going across the entire film, taunting, and as me and Daniel know, that happens quite a lot in our relationship.
Pretty much. We're very love-hate. You know, sometimes I love him and sometimes I want to kill him.
I just want to kill you. However, I'm a murderous psychopath, except for I don't murder people.
He's just a bit crazy.
Indeed.
It's the voices in his head, they're always there.
You know, you talked about voices earlier.
Oh, yes.
So now you come to the action phase of it, which is this is an action comedy. And was the action realistic? Hell yeah. Do I like the realism?
Well,
hell yeah. Do you like a bunch of people who have fake shit running around thinking they're invincible because they have a suit? Hell no. As you all know, that's a jab at Marvel. I hate Marvel.
He has no life.
I have a life, which is why I don't like Marvel.
Ah, too bad, you're missing out on good movies, but we'll get to that later.
I watch good movies, but then I watch Marvel, which is definitely not, but like I said, we'll get back to it later.
I don't know, this coming from the idiot who thinks Batman vs Superman is a good film.
I said it was average.
Anyway, on with the review.
I think that performances were really good, and I like the fact that they made you forget about characters and then they popped up later and you're like, oh my god! And the fact is that I saw a lot of people criticising the reason why it came out, or this entire fight broke out, and it was the most justified thing since justification has ever justified a justification. And yes, that is a lot of words spoken very quickly, and I don't intend that you'd actually understand, because BAM!
Words! Education! Words! He just loves to say BAM!
But, and a lot of people actually do complain in real life the speed of my talking when it's actually scripted. However, this is completely unscripted.
This is completely off the top of our heads, just because we can.
Banter.
By the way, TV shows. I love Game of Thrones. Who doesn't?
On to TV shows later.
Yep.
And I've got a few great TV shows to talk about.
Some he has recommended I am considering viewing.
But anyway, back to Free Fire. I felt that a lot of this comes back to why it was realistic. Which when I'm watching a film, I want to feel that this would happen. Obviously, when you have science fiction, it's, you
have to do it right.
Arrival, I think, hit it right on point in a way that it felt like, even if aliens came to Earth, you know, what these people will react is actually realistic, which I know you weren't a fan of Arrival, but
I didn't think it was too bad, I just think there could have been better.
But you have to admit that it's properly realistic.
Yeah, the general reaction to an alien wouldn't be, grab the guns, it'd be, what the fuck?
You'd be like, holy fucking shit, we gotta keep this away from the general public.
It's like if a zombie outbreak broke out outside, there'd be the government covering it up, saying, no, everything's fine, there'd be people inside, like, kill me.
And then the zombies would come in and, you know,
and do your job. Admittedly, you know, there's nothing worse than a zombie apocalypse. The people, I dread what this motherfucker would become. Probably a cannibal, psychopath, murderer, or a bit of everything.
Hey, that's already my personality.
True.
So Free Fire overall, the biggest thing I don't like about this film isn't actually the film. It's like the reaction to the film. As many people were going to see films that were designed to milk money, most notably Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I actually went to see that with one of my cousins because she had done nothing but annoy me and my aunt in doing it. Can I go see it? No. Can I go see it? No. Can I go see it? Daniel, will you just take him? Fine.
How was it?
Honestly, not good. I mean, you got the people praising it like it's a modern classic. I'm just like, no, it's been done. Also, really flat and boring performance by Emma Watson.
Most overrated actress.
So overrated. I mean, she's fit and a totally banger, but that's it.
Talking about Emma Watson is, I actually want to branch out into something where a lot of people are talking about whether they're a good actor, about their personal life. For example, one of my friends said, I love Emma Watson, she's a good actress and she's a feminist. Now, if you're a feminist, be a feminist. I don't care. I mean, I care about women's equality, but I don't care if you believe in it. Live your life, I live mine.
If you are a feminist, though, please stop striving for the extinction of the human race, doing the whole never be with a man. Problem is, if you're never with a man, then we're never going to get anywhere continuing our species.
Exactly. But that's my point, is that I don't agree with people looking at their personal lives and deciding whether they're a good actor. There's two different really things. I mean, if Leonardo DiCaprio turned out to be a murderous psychopath who raped 50 people, okay, maybe not the raping, that's a bit extreme.
I don't know, that just sounds like normal Leonardo DiCaprio.
I wouldn't go that far. However, you can't question that he is a good actor. He may be a scumbag of a human being. However, the guy has talent.
He does.
Even though he's not in real life a scumbag human being, he's just a bit of banter. So back to the film. The most disappointing thing is when I went to see this film in cinema,
it was empty.
I was the only one there, and this guy actually cancelled because he had shit to do, which I completely understand.
Yeah, I would have gone, and I did want to go. Unfortunately, something important to me had come up in my life.
I mean, having an entire cinema to yourself is pretty fun. However,
yeah, pick your seat.
It's very annoying when you watch this masterpiece of a film where you're consistently laughing over the incredible dialogue, the amazing taunts, and the overall enjoyability of the film, and no one else is there to join it with you.
That is very fair.
So, what am I going to give this film? Do you know what? Just because I want people to see it, I'm going to give it a 10.
I am going to give it a solid 9, because I thought it was a good film, but it did have its issues here and there.
What would you say?
I'd say some issues, maybe a bit of flat acting here and there, and some of the jokes were a bit cringy at times.
Arnie Hammer, though, proving why he is a good actor.
That is true. Anyway, the next game I am about to talk to is overrated. Yeah, anyway, in case you haven't got judged by my general opinion of overrated, yes, I'm calling it overrated because calling it Overwatch is an insult to me as a gamer.
And to me as a human being.
Basically,
I've never actually played it.
It's a $50 piece of shit.
Agreed.
Let's face it, I mean, if it were $10-20, I wouldn't be so bothered by it, but the fact is, you got this army of fanboys who are going to be raging in the comments at the end of this video. Probably even as I speak right now, they're doing the Overwatch rage. You know, oh, Tracer, yeah. Anyway.
Actually, people do have Overwatch porn, so that is an actual accurate representation of what the Overwatch fanboys are.
I actually don't want to know that, but okay then, moving on. Anyway, that's a whole different topic entirely of Aaron's internet search history. I don't want to know why his search history
I have not watched that, no. I know about it because people are massive Overwatch nerds, and especially with the amount of fanfiction of Overwatch, #Reaper, you'd actually imagine people would go that far. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's videos of Frozen, one of the characters thinks else there, and Spider-Man having children.
What?
Yeah, it's an entire viral thing.
That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Okay, I am going to wish I never knew what Aaron's search history was like. But
Chaos,
okay.
actually, it's Chaos Unsilence. Please subscribe to him. He's a great YouTuber.
Brilliant YouTuber. Anyway, on with my review of Overrated. Anyway, as a multiplayer game, it fails. As a single-player game, it's non-existent. And as a game in general, it's boring as shit.
For me, if you're going to make a story with characters who are heroes, at least show me how they are heroes. Which is why I prefer... What the fuck was it called?
Complete fuck over. It's called Battleborn.
Battleborn.
Quite a good game. In the fight of hero shooters with Battleborn versus Overwatch, I think Battleborn was a solid game. It just had a poor release time.
Agreed.
Because all the Overwatch fanboys were getting ready to fuck Tracer. Anyway, here's my general opinion of the game, given I actually got some gameplay in, so you can't say you haven't played it, you don't know. It's like, I have played it, I paid $50 for it, and I wanted my $50 back.
I was going to pay $50 for it, just saying.
Yeah, anyway, so I got then he heard from me that it was crap. Anyway, I got some general gameplay in, some general idea of what it was like, and the first thing I said was, this is exactly the same as the demo, or the beta. Is there anything new added? I started scouring through the search files, checking through the files, seeing if there was anything hidden off or locked behind.
He's a PC gamer, by the way.
I'm a bit of both. I'm a PC gamer, but I'm also a console gamer.
Yeah, he's an Xbox twisted a twat. PlayStation rules.
I don't know, I mean, PC Master Race, but okay.
Yeah, if you're on the Master Race, then what the fuck is the normal?
That is true, unfortunately. Anyway, on with my review. So I played this on the PC because I wanted a reasonable experience and because I had recently got myself a decent gaming laptop to play it on. I didn't manage to do it at max settings because my laptop is average settings, but I'm not here to bore you to death with the specs. I'm here to talk about a really overrated game named Overrated. The first thing I didn't like was the way that you unlock new skins and emotes for your characters. Unlike most games where if you like playing as the same character, you could use in-game currency to buy one, that specific skin or emote, you get a 1 in a million chance from a loot box. Really? Ring ring ring! Hey, hi Activision! Yes, I'm aware this is your marketing plan with unlocking stuff in Call of Duty. Yes, I'm aware that's also an equally overrated game at times, but still, on with the review.
Call of Duty is a franchise.
It's a franchise, at least they've been improving it over the years.
What I mean by that is you called it a game, not a franchise.
Yeah. The problem is, they're so similar these days. Anyway, on with my review. First bit I went in this game was the fact it was marketed to have multiple and diverse characters. Okay, cosmetically, yes, they are different, and their guns look slightly different, but let's face it, it's the same thing. You run out into the middle of the objective, start to capture it, and then someone decides, hey, your head looks fun as Widowmaker and shoots you in the head. And you think, fine, okay, I'll try someone else and try a different strategy. And don't start commenting your shit, because let's face it, that was most of my games. You go on the team, and there is a way for the team choosing selection screen to actually say there's too many of this class, try a couple of these classes, and everyone still picks bloody snipers. The other irritating point I have is the same gripe I had with TF2, is that I'll be doing really well as one particular class, and my whole team will turn to that class and then we'll start getting destroyed because we haven't got enough diverse characters to split up the effort of the game. So I change characters again, start improving our score, and then the whole team looks at me and goes, oh, he's playing an engineer now, I'm going to be an engineer. It's just like, stop copying me, you fucks. The other problem is that all the classes play the same. You've got the attack classes, who, okay, they deal slightly more damage, but at the same time, they die really easily. Whereas you have the defend classes, who are the opposite. They have fuck all in the damage department, but at least they don't die in 3 seconds. Unless you're Torbjorn, in which case you place down a turret and say, fuck you guys, let my turret do the work for me.
All I can say is when it comes to the sort of genre, I think that you should check out Smite, because it's actually an original idea where it talks about Greek gods.
It is a very good game, I would recommend it. When it comes to MOBAs, I would recommend Smite, but still I am Dota 2 for the life. I love Dota 2. He hasn't played Dota 2, so
played many.
He really should. Anyway, so my general opinion and review of Overwatch is, 1, it's not Game of the Year, guys, come on. There were so many better games that came out last year, including Doom. Let's face it, Doom was a good game. It was a reveal which I wasn't expecting, and when it was revealed, I was like, oh, a new Doom. How are they going to fuck it up this time? The problem is I then played Doom, and I was like, this is great. Bringing all the nostalgia and enjoyment I had from the original, sneaking down in my parents on my dad's PlayStation and playing Doom. Also, it brought back all the nostalgia of the games I wasn't supposed to play when I was 5. But let's face it, we all have that game. That game which we weren't supposed to be playing it, but we were playing it anyway.
No, not for me. I played every game that I wanted to.
Yeah, well, your parents are a bit more lax. Anyway, my final review of Overrated is a 3 out of 10. Yeah, that's right. Comment in below, come on, let me feed off your hatred, Overwatch fans. I feed off it.
It actually, whenever I see hate on my videos, it actually makes me feel better.
It's just to know that we've pissed you off.
It's just a shame I get no hate.
Anyway, we're going back to the movies. Your next movie is...
Nocturnal Animals. You don't know much about this.
I haven't seen it, so I cannot have a review. But I have a feeling that you're going to give it a big thumbs up.
It is a massive, massive thumbs up. Okay, if you don't know what Nocturnal Animals is, I don't blame you, okay? But it got a lot of awards. Personally, when you know me, everyone knows I love awards films. Not mainly because I like to know why they got all this buzz. And this has so much tension in it. So effectively, it's someone gets a book, reads the book, then stuff happens in her real life, but carries on going back to the book. which sort of annoyed me because I really wanted to see the book because that's where all the tension was. It was dramatic. And as Jake Gyllenhaal, and everyone knows, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, good actor.
Very good actor.
And also this film has Amy Adams and Isla Fisher, basically the same person with a different accent. Agreed?
Agreed.
Also it has Kick-Ass and, what's his name, General Zod.
A lot of good actors all round.
So the reason that annoyed me is because nothing really happened, but then when you come to the ending, which I'm not going to spoil, it sort of realises what's actually happening in the scenes above it. Back to my one problem with this film is that the first few minutes are a bit disturbing, not something I ever want to watch again. And I'm going to warn you, don't think, it can't be that bad. It goes on for 4 minutes. Let's
just face it, 3 minutes of Two Girls, One Cup was horrible. I don't know what 4 minutes weather he was like, because none of that.
Just don't think it can't be that bad. He's just a pussy. No, it's.
Believe me, he has I'd say a semi-decent tolerance towards gore and stuff.
I've watched Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
That's enough. The film is just tense. Okay, and I'm not going to say tension throughout this review because this is what the film feeds off. It's one of those films where I even wanted to go to the toilet, but at the same time I wanted to know what fucking happened. Michael Shannon gave probably one of his best performances, and he's a very underrated actor mainly because of the backlash of Man of Steel.
I can agree on that quite a bit.
However, with 2 films of Midnight Special and this, he's proving to show himself to be a world-class actor, and I want to see more of his work. Jake Gyllenhaal is Bay, and I will remain thinking he's Bay until Bay stops becoming a thing.
Hashtag Bayness of Bay.
Even though it probably has actually stopped being a thing, so no one really uses it anymore. Him and Jack O'Connell are my life. That probably sounds very gay, but...
Yeah, it's okay. It is 2016, we will respect. And if you do not respect the gay community, shame on you.
Even though it's 2017, learn the year.
Yeah.
So everyone, I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10 just because I didn't really enjoy the beginning, but the rest of it is a masterclass in film. And it's extremely surprising given the fact the person who made it is the fashion designer. That's right, Tom Ford created this film, and you wouldn't expect it. It's
so quite a high rating overall.
Yes.
Okay, the final game which I'm going to be talking about this review is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, Aaron has actually had a bit of time to play it, and he got some hands-on time with it, and he can admit he quite enjoyed it.
It's very fun.
He actually enjoyed it. You know, he actually enjoyed the game, liked the way it worked, as well as the character customization screen. He made quite an interesting character with a full-on bodysuit, whereas I went for a simple guy with a mohawk and an awesome checkered shirt.
My dream appearance.
Pretty much. Anyway, so the first thing I did when I got into the game was I was going to test out the gunplay, seeing as this would be a tactical shooter. And the first thing I decided to do was, can I kill civilians? I shot one civilian, and my partner, and one of my AI partners, really turns to me and says, "You faggot, you just killed someone." I decided to shoot another civilian, and another AI partner says to me, "You're a wanker." I kill a third civilian, and then I get a game over screen saying, "Stop killing civilians, you fucking monster." So, anyway.
That's true to life. I've done it was actually personality.
Pretty much, you know. I have this urge to kill, but I tend to ignore it. Anyway,
Why wouldn't it be here?
Pretty much. Anyway, so I went in playing with some friends, as this is best played in co-op, be it 2 to 4 players, depending on your preference. I went in with 2 of my friends, and we spent half the time, we spent about a quarter of the game actually doing the story, about 3/4 of the game fucking about. Let's just say there's something fun about getting a helicopter, flying it upside down over a mountain, jumping out, and then firing rockets at the floor. It's just fun.
Banter.
It is just banter amongst mates. Anyway, the next thing we discovered was that we could turn friendly fire on, so we could start killing each other. So it just turned into a colossal free-for-all across an expansive map. Expansive? God, I can't talk today.
No, they can not.
It's okay. Anyway, so I enjoyed the game for its customization, its interesting story, and its compelling reason to carry on. However, I did feel that by the end of the game, it got a bit repetitive. A la Mafia 3, although unlike Mafia 3, it did some different objectives in tracking down and gathering evidence on your targets. Anyway, the overall payoff of killing El Sueño, the big B, the big boss, is actually quite good, the way you do it and the way you execute it, and the fact that he isn't a general black and white villain, he actually has depth and reason to do what he's doing. Also, your character actually has some emotion, unlike The Division, where he awkwardly stands there in silence. I mean, how awkward would it be if you were doing some exposition and I was just standing there like...
Hashtag mannequin challenge.
Pretty much. Anyway, so, you know, for the gameplay, the overall enjoyment of it, and generally the customization and fun factor with friends, it gains an 8 out of 10. However, I have to drop it down to a 7 because the story was a little lackluster.
May I care to comment?
Of course.
I found the gameplay and the game mechanics, especially the physics, were very fun. Really well done. I enjoyed playing it, which is the most important thing. If you don't enjoy it, then it doesn't matter if all the gameplay, the graphics and everything was diabolical. The fact that you enjoyed it is the most important thing. Hashtag BAM.
The thing is, I tried going into the game just trying to stealth it a bit. But the problem is, I'd be stealthing it, sneaking around, taking notes, and then all of a sudden one idiot runs in with his gun, bam, 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 and then we're busted and it's all our guns blazing.
One thing to say is don't use a helicopter early on.
Yeah.
Shite.
He crashed. You need to upgrade your driving skills quite a bit. The funniest thing that I had was there are a lot of good bugs in the game. I mean, some people complain bugs are a bad thing in games. I say the opposite. If it's a good and interesting bug, which is generally fun to do, I don't mind it. One being the invisible car. Let's face it, there is nothing more funnier than my character sitting in a car position, driving around, flying around like some Superman, and then his head and his mates bobbing side to side. There's also nothing quite as funny as hiding in a tower, fighting off a helicopter, and then it deciding to crash right into the bloody tower.
Banter.
Hashtag banter. It was good. So, this game, obviously, to me, is worth celebrating. Good on you for actually doing a good Ghost Recon game. But I enjoyed it, so that is a solid 7 out of 10.
Now, later on, we're going to be talking about Guardians 2, which is going to be with Daniel, because
I saw it on Saturday, and it was quite good.
But I'm going to talk about a film just before, because I need to get this film off my chest. And this is a film called Still Alice. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it, I have not seen it.
So
I'm just going to do your thing.
Julianne Moore won an Oscar for this. I'm just going to tell you. You know, I told you I wanted a film to shit on today? But here's the film to shit on.
Here's the film to shit on of the week.
Now let's talk about Kristen Stewart. Do you like Kristen Stewart?
He's an okay actor, I suppose.
She's an okay actor.
I don't know, some people speculate she is a he.
Fair play. She's a very good comedic actor in American Ultra, where she was one of the highlights, as well as Michael Pena and Jesse Eisenberg, and she was very good in Cafe Society, one of my starring people of 2016. However, after watching this film, I realised she can't do drama. Like she's gone back to Twilight's Bella, because she's wooden and monotone and completely bland. Her facial expressions is the exact same, and she's a bore to watch. But don't worry, that's not the only thing wrong with this film. The main character actually holds the fact that she's got Alzheimer's, which is what the film is about, against her daughter, saying, hey, if you don't go to college, you'll go get me and I have Alzheimer's. Ha ha.
Yeah. When a film focuses on one particular subject or problem, you know it's not very good.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean...
Depending.
Some films can execute it in a good way. A lot of films can, however this one was not. It was the characters weren't interesting or likeable. In fact, Alec Baldwin really did try to carry this film. However, he just crashed and burned due to the annoying characters, unlikability, and the overall disastrous acting by half the people. Also the fact that my mum, who I watched it with, found out some really big plot holes. For example, she can't remember what she wanted to do. She had to go upstairs and do something, so she came down, had the recording, which she did, came up, didn't find it, went back to the laptop like she remembered that she saw the recording. Am I wrong?
Yep, you're wrong.
Exactly. I have no idea. I'm completely brain fucked.
By the way, if you do think we're overdoing the effects, you know, okay, fair enough, but for those of you who like them, you can give out amazing wow.
This is not me, this is him controlling it.
I know, I just love doing effects, because let's face it, I love effects. Effects.
No one ever wants to see that, not including your girlfriend.
Anyway, leave her out of this during the video.
So overall, should I tell you to watch this film? No. Even if Julianne Moore did finally win her Oscar for it, don't watch it. It's a complete waste of time.
Emma Watson got an Oscar for Beauty and the Beast. So
no, she hasn't.
She's going to though.
No, she won't. It's too.
She will. People are going to be like, "Oh, give her an Oscar," and she'll be like, "All right."
It's too early on. You have. I mean, like usually Oscar bait films come out in September, October, November, and December time in America, and this has come out in March, it won't. Trust me, Emma Watson will not get anything for it.
That's true.
And if she does, I'll eat Daniel.
Oh well.
Anyway, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 10 for all the reasons previously mentioned. Don't watch it. Now, you want to go on to
I am going to do
Guardians
a review
2,
of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
which I predict is probably terrible because Marvel is terrible.
However, he is wrong. It's actually quite a good film.
You
The
see
opening...
Guardians winners.
Shut up. Anyway, the opening to the film was quite upbeat and enjoyable. There were some genuine moments which made me laugh, but there were also emotional moments which made me feel sympathy towards the characters. They also developed quite a lot of the characters in quite a way, specifically Drax. They gave him more of a personality, and he actually felt more like a member of the team rather than just someone who's there to kill things in awesome ways. They also developed more of the buddy cop romance and romance between Groot and Rocket, which I felt was well done. They also showed Groot in a much better light, given that he was in his baby form, so he had the childlike innocence. They also introduced one of my favourite villains from the Marvelverse, which is Ego. And in case you're not aware of who that is, I won't go into too many spoilers,
He's a
as it
living
has been
planet.
explained. Basically, yeah. He is basically a living planet.
By the way, I only know this because of the thousands of videos up on YouTube about Guardians 2.
Anyway, so the story in that was quite interesting and the execution was well done. There were also a lot of interesting end credit scenes setting up future movies, but they don't really count as rating the movie. The movie itself was funny, well written and humorous to enjoy. It also had quite a lot of emotional depth towards the characters, given there was a shocking death amongst the team. I won't spoil who it was, but it did come as a surprise that they did.
I have my predictions.
Anyway, would you like to predict?
I reckon it's Gamora.
It might have been, it might not have been, you never know. There was a shocking death amongst a member of the team, and it was a case of why would you do that? Anyway, so...
I've got something to say. This is me, this is what my friend said. She said it was funny, however, it got very emotional at times. However, she didn't... It felt... I can't remember the word begins with I, and it's not in a positive manner. So I don't really know what to make of it. Am I going to see it? I got bored after 20 minutes after watching Guardians of the Galaxy, which he made me watch.
I don't do that much.
Yes, you did.
Well, actually, you just lost the vote on what the movie was at that particular time.
Yes, and I started talking to politics with
Anyway.
this person's dad.
Anyway, so my overall review of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a solid 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it, and I'm seeing a pattern of 8 out of 10s coming from me, because recently the stuff I'm rating has been good. Apart from my 3 out of 10 for overrated. Now, we're going to move on to the news first. We will be coming back for TV shows, though.
Yes, I'm looking forward to talking about 2 shows you're looking forward to talk about.
I am quite looking forward to talking about a specific show, specifically the ending of the season finale for the latest one.
Okay,
Now,
so
the first thing I would like to talk about is COD World War II.
I'm looking forward to this.
Now, the way I'm looking at it is, Battlefield 1 came out, and it was a decent game. He didn't actually play it, but I would
I played the demo and I did enjoy the demo, or the beta, sorry. Did enjoy the beta, so I thought if I'm not going to enjoy the beta, I'm just not going to buy the game. Why waste money?
I had a similar opinion, but then I got it bought for me, so I didn't end up wasting money. And the first thing I found was I was surprisingly shocked and enjoyed Battlefield 1. Anyway, when I look at COD World War II, I think that is Activision getting the kick in the arse saying, oh, EA did it better, we're going to do it now because everyone seems to like it. That is also the same thing they seem to be doing with Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA being the, people complain about a lack of campaign in Battlefront 1.
But don't worry, we're going to talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. On to COD World War II. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I mean, transferring the COD formula, which they've now established, back to its original World War 1 and 2 franchise roots.
No World War One.
Yeah, it might be an interesting transition back.
All I'm going to say is that a lot of people were hating Infinite Warfare. I didn't actually. I enjoyed it. I mean, I found it easy because I got diamond assault rifles within a month, and people who know that I'm not the greatest at Call of Duty. However, I always trash him.
I don't play that much, so...
What I think we're seeing a lot is that Sledgehammer becoming massive trendsetters.
Pretty much.
Where they brought the futuristic movement to Call of Duty, now they're taking it away, and it feels like Treyarch are just copying them.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you can't really complain because Treyarch were before.
That is true.
I'm looking forward to it. So I think it's gonna be an interesting story. The only criticism I have is that it just seems like it's gonna be from one standpoint.
It does.
And if you're gonna bring it back to World War II, where there's 4 different stories you can tell, German, English, American, and Russian. The fact you're only going to go the American seems a bit egotistical.
Oh well,
since you're an American developer.
That's just the way it is, really.
But then, when it is in America, only portray America being the soul and saviour of World War II.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, let's face it, the only way we ended up winning World War II finally was by nuking the Chinese.
No, that's the Japanese who learn history.
Yeah, I'm not much of a history buff. I'm not much of a history buff. I just play video games.
To be fair, it's common known knowledge, and also the only reason we would have won World War II wasn't for the Russians. So leaving the Russians out is like saying, well, I'm gonna punch you a bunch of times, but then Bill from down the road is gonna come and punch you once and finish you off.
Pretty much, and then Bill won the fight.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to be a very good campaign. I have a good feeling about it. We'll see how the multiplayer goes because it's going to stand up to a lot of good World War II shooters coming back to that, especially with Call of Duty World at War, which is a good game, and obviously a lot of people's favourites if you originally started Call of Duty 2.
I'm quite a pessimist, so I'm going in with a negative view of the game, given that this is Treyarch continuing their yearly release of Call of Duty.
It's not Treyarch, it's Sledgehammer.
I don't care. The fact is, it's another bloody Call of Duty. Seriously, guys, you have some reasonable resources and supplies at your hands. Stop making Call of Duty and try and make something original.
I don't think that's... a lot of people... This is like people are sick of Call of Duty, so they're going to try to bring it back.
I'm just sick of it.
Call of Duty will never end. It's going to last forever.
Yeah, but you know what will end?
Your life.
Yeah, pretty much. The problem is I will only have to suffer through Call of Duty's 98. Anyway.
FIFA will never end either until football ends.
It's true. I mean, let's face it, it's the same game every year.
But I love it.
Yeah, exactly. I can't diss on that too much. The next game is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I don't know whether we should call it Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It's technically Battlefront 4 when you think about it.
Because it's like the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, also Star Wars Battlefront, the original, but Battlefront 2 was outstanding.
Flawless in every way.
And it's like, that's one of the games that brings me back to my childhood.
I am, however, actually quite excited for Battlefront 2 because they are doing quite an interesting story compact that you are the Empire and you're avenging the Emperor. It looks like part of the campaign will be a moment trying to assassinate Luke.
Now, you read comics a lot.
Quite a bit.
You read Star Wars comics?
I do.
And fan fiction?
Sometimes.
And books?
I haven't read the books, honestly.
I was wondering, is this like the first time you've ever seen in the aftermath of Episode 6?
No, honestly, there is some aftermath in other games, as well as other like stories and comics. However, this is the first time we've seen it from the Empire's perspective.
Okay then.
The fact is, this is the Empire rebuilding itself to make the First Order, this is what I think this is going to be. This is going to be the filler between 6 and 7. Then again,
means we don't have to get another movie between 3 and 4.
I don't know. I mean, we ended up getting a movie we ended up getting Rogue One, which was good.
I haven't actually watched Rogue One.
Quite a good film. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I did watch someone called Lessons from the Screenplay, which I'm loving. You should go to subscribe to him because he does a lot of detailed analysis.
Hit that button.
And he said that the first half, screenwriting-wise, was abysmal, but the second half picked it up.
Alright. Anyway, so that is the general opinions of some of the news.
Now, we've got more, we've got a lot more.
Oh, we've got so much more. The problem is we haven't got a lot of time.
I don't give a shit two kids about time. But you've got stuff to talk about, for example, the Batgirl casting as Joss Whedon has allegedly been signed on to do it. Who are your favourites as a comic book fan?
Honestly, when it comes to comic book characters and their possible actors, I don't think Joss Whedon has made many good decisions.
Yeah, fuck it, look. And here comes all the Marvel fanboys.
This isn't me being a fanboy, this is me generally having an opinion of a comic book character being brought to the big screen.
To be fair though, how many has he actually created? Because they're all created in previous films other than Hawkeye.
The fact is, you're not creating a character. Also, Hawkeye wasn't created. He was comic. He was in the comics.
Yes, but the big screen personality is different.
Yeah, it's way different. Like, he's quite cocky in the comics, whereas he's kind of boring in the movie.
I enjoyed him in the movie.
He
was the only bit I actually liked.
He didn't feel like Hawkeye. That one Hawkeye fan. He is the 1%.
I'm the person who doesn't give a shit about comics, enjoys films for what they are. However, I can't enjoy them because they're shite effect.
He joined Team Mystic, it's fine.
What?
He joined Instinct, it's fine.
Instinct?
Sorry, it's an inside joke amongst Pokemon fans.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, he joined Instinct.
I'd never play Pokemon Go.
Let's just say if he were on the thing, he would be Instinct. He would be the yellow idiots. Because he is that 1%.
I'm the clever people.
No. Yeah.
I'm the people who I'm the 1% who actually went to see Free Fire in
That's true.
cinema.
I saw it online. I wanted to see it in cinema, but like I said, I was busy.
I'm just saying.
Anyway,
but Batgirl, I'm thinking for me, Chloe Grace Moretz is a massive person you could go with. What do you think about that?
honestly, if I was gonna pick any strong female character to play her, I think either get who played Jin Erso in Rogue One, because she did quite a good job.
I don't like
and
Felicity
would bring-
Jones. I don't like her. I can't.
I think she's an okay actress.
I can't. I watched her. The first time I watched her was True Story.
Mm.
You haven't watched it, I'm guessing.
I have not.
Guess what it is?
I have no idea.
It's a true story.
Ah, very nice.
It gives away the title, but
Mhm.
I think it's the fact that she had lack of chemistry with Jonah Hill that she just felt extremely weak.
Yeah, but he's an overrated actor. Like, he's
Oh,
kind of funny at
shots
times.
fired.
Shots fired at any Jonah Hill fans.
I
Seriously,
like-
he's overrated.
I like Jonah Hill. He's very good.
Honestly, one thing, going
Have you
on.
seen Superbad?
I have, and I didn't think it was that good.
You say you're the smart one when it comes.
It's okay. You don't like Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, Guardians of the Galaxy is not good. But Superbad is a classic.
I didn't really like it. Then again, I don't like a lot of things. I don't like him either, so it's fine. There are people out there who say he's a good friend. He's not. He's a bit of a wanker.
Wanker.
Pretty much. Also, that is a fact of the day that wanker is an exclusively British curse.
Banter.
It is. Anyway,
so-
moving on to the next bit of news.
Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World 2. What do you think about Jurassic World?
I enjoyed Jurassic World, honestly.
Yeah,
it was
same.
a decent movie. It was a nice nod back to the original movies, -3. Anyway,
film.
crap film. 3 was crap.
I love Spinosaurus. I can't help it.
Crap. Spinosaurus would not take an T-Rex, but let's face it, let's not move on to the bickering amongst the video. Jurassic World was a good film,
I
well
agree.
acted and good cast.
What do you think
I
about
do.
Jeff Goldblum though?
I think he's a good actor, but I'm not sure about him being in Jurassic World 2. However, I do have a bit of a problem with them making Jurassic World 2 in general, given, if you've got one good movie, please don't ruin it with a sequel.
Well,
Hashtag DC, most film companies these days.
True.
However, there is some sequels which I want and some that I don't, but we'll get onto that later.
what I can say is that what I want, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and I can't remember who played the female lead, Elizabeth.
I can't remember, but she was good.
Yeah, those 5, one film. That would be great, thank you very much.
Anyway, so that's my general opinion. I did enjoy Jurassic World though.
I think it would be good. I reckon.
I hope so.
Kingsman 2 now, back to sequels.
I'm actually quite excited for Kingsman 2
I haven't
because
seen
1
Kingsman.
was... You haven't seen
I'm gonna watch it
Kingsman.
on Netflix.
You
don't I?
really should. It was really good. If you have seen Kingsman, you know it is good. Hashtag comment for him to watch it.
I don't think it'll be as good as my favourite spy film, which is the
It's-
greatest spy film. No, it's not James Bond. It's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Anyway, now Kingsman 1, if in case you're uneducated, is a parody and a spoof of the spy movie genre in that it points out all the genre mistakes, like the villain having an overcomplicated plan.
To be fair, it's mainly a jab at James Bond.
It's
more than
basically a
anything
jabs at Bourne and James Bourne.
else. I would say Bourne.
It is against Bourne. It's like parodying James Bond and Jason Bourne at the same time.
Jason Bourne franchise.
It's also doing a lot of Mission Impossible at times.
No Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy though.
Anyway, I quite enjoyed Kingsman 1. It had quite a good and compelling story. It was also a really good film. However, Kingsman 2 seems like it's going to be turning some of the plot events on its head. I'm not going to spoil into it if you haven't watched the trailer or if you haven't watched Kingsman 1.
It's a trailer, you don't need any spoilers.
Trailer 1, it looks like they're bringing back a thing, but it still has quite a major spoiler from Kingsman 1 if you haven't seen. Like I said, I won't go into detail.
It did kind of bring in a massive spoiler though, which I think they would have been better to reveal in the
Yeah.
actual
They had a
film.
reveal of a certain character, which was like, oh, I was kind of hoping that would be better for the film. However, I do think it might be a 180 of, instead of him being evil like everyone's speculating he's just going to have an eye patch. He's going to be like, what, you think I'm evil? No, just got an eye patch. Anyway.
Yeah,
It
does
probably
sound
would do
Kingsman.
something like that.
A final bit of news, which was, you played it.
This
I
is
haven't.
only something I've played, which is a new game coming out soon called Prey, which is kind of like Dead Space. The idea being that you are stranded alone on a space station with these creatures called mimics.
So it's
have
like
the ability-
Alien.
A bit like Alien Isolation mixed with Dead Space because you can actually fight back reasonably well. But yeah, you can also disguise yourself as one as well. It actually brings the uncertainty and the nerve-wracking tension of Outlast as well, because I remember walking into a cafeteria and inspecting what I thought was a health item, only for them to turn into a mimic and start clawing my face open. I then decided that it was quite clever and well done. So I went in that same canteen and saw that object and shot it, only to realise it wasn't a mimic, it was an actual health kit, which was equally a mindfuck. So I have a feeling that's going to be the general vibe of the game, me being very cautious and unsure of everything that I look at. It is also nice being able to hide as an object, because it's like playing prop hunt but a lot scarier. I do hope there is a form of multiplayer mode which does include prop hunt, because prop hunt is fun if you haven't played it.
It is very fun.
It is incredibly fun. Anyway, so that's my general review and opinion of the Prey demo, given it is not quite out yet, but it's been something to play and something I've enjoyed.
If it does have a multiplayer, it'll be a bit like Fear.
Probably. Anyway, so Prey, I'm looking forward to when it comes out. I'll do a proper review when it's actually out.
Let's talk about TV shows now.
I spend too much time watching TV.
I'm going to do one, then you do one, then I'll finish off.
Yeah, that was
kind
kind of
cool. Funny, you're right.
Indeed. Again, Americans don't quite get our slang.
No, it's pretty funny.
We keep taking taking digs at Americans, don't we?
It's
Oh,
fine.
speaking of crap TV shows, American In-Betweeners. What were you
shite.
thinking? Yeah,
Okay, so
pretty
I'm going
much.
to talk about the massive Netflix series 13 Reasons Why.
I have seen a trailer for this, and going by what Aaron sent me, I am actually going to start watching it, because it does look quite good.
I did show him the trailer. Now, 13 Reasons Why, if you don't know what's about, it's about a dead girl who committed suicide and sends tapes to all the people that
Caused it.
caused it. Now, not to go into any spoilers, the acting's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to compare it to my friend who read the book. Now the book is set about one night. This is set about a matter of a few weeks, which I think is good and adds development into the story. Allows you to get more involved in the world and allows you to have more things actually happening, which I think was really good.
That's fair enough.
I love the acting. I love the because what you see in lots of films, you can't really tell flashbacks to normality. What I love that is they used lighting and lots of different things to be able to tell the differences, which when certain things happen is very, very helpful.
It is.
And it's a joy to watch. Now, I've only recently become a massive binger. I usually wait a week like everyone else, and this week is, tonight I'm watching Grantchester, cannot wait. When it's finished, I'll give you a review.
That'll be good. That'll be probably in the next episode. So you are aware, we will be uploading every couple of weeks, so keep tuned and do subscribe. And if you enjoy our videos, please tell your friends. If they like video games, movies, TV shows, whatever. We'll leave links. We'll leave in a comment at the bottom of which section is at which point. So if you're just watching for video games, we'll comment where the video games are at, where the movies are at, where the TV shows are at.
I will do my best to try to do that. I'm not making any promises.
We'll try our best.
What can I say? I'm a slacker.
I mean, let's face it, we watch stuff and play stuff and then talk about it.
Exactly. So I think what really drives us is not only the plot, is the conspiracy in it. And as well, the conspiracy is the performances. There's the counsellor who feels guilt, but in the same way that he's not really showing.
Yeah.
There's lots of characters which actually has got, as you will know from my video talking about my personal Oscars who are Jews, has got Devin Druid.
Good actor.
What have you seen him in?
I can't remember, but I have heard his name and I think I have seen him do some acting.
Oh, he was in Louder Than Bombs with Jesse Eisenberg. And for me, he really was the star of the show. I would like to see more of him. I guess it's the character's relevance and the fact that the person told me the character isn't so much in the books, therefore obviously won't be so much in the TV show. However, I love him. What am I going to give this series out of 10? I'm going to give it a 9.
Very good.
Not just because I just say because of obviously I'd rather see more of the characters and I'd rather see a bit more development of some of them. I feel that they weren't really shown as much, and as a TV form instead of a book, you have to make these adjustments to create the characters more.
Well, sometimes when you're adapting book to TV show, book to film, you have to squeeze out some things or take some bits out to keep a runtime down.
Yeah, but when you have a series, you have many episodes to do it. Whereas a film, understandable, but when it's in a specific TV show, you can have that luxury.
That's fair enough. Speaking of book to film, from book to film to TV, I keep saying film, book to TV adaptations, I'm about to talk about the second half of the latest season of The Walking Dead.
I don't watch The Walking Dead. He tells me to. I might.
You really should. It is really good. Now, the latest season, or latest part of the season, has been really interesting and tense, given the first part was establishing the saviours and what they are like, and the second part is actually building up the tension for the group planning on taking them down. One thing I did quite enjoy was the development of the characters of Negan, Carl and Rick. The way that they continue to develop them.
Carl!
Yep, hashtag Carl.
Carl!
Anyway, there are so many good moments, which I won't go into too much detail as there is a lot of spoiler, as well as some shocking twists here and there. There are also quite a few shocking deaths from main characters. Again, I won't spoil, but if you know what I'm on about, you mean. The main part of it I'm going to discuss is the season finale, which actually has a quite bit of shocking reveal, and I'm going to put a huge spoiler alert right now, okay? So you have 3, 2, 1... Okay, so the season finale, if you have watched it, or if you're just not bothered by the spoilers, does involve a main cast character being killed off by being stuffed into a coffin, only to take her own life. She decides that she is unhappy with the way that the group is being treated by this, so she attempts to assassinate Negan by taking her own life, becoming a zombie, and thinking she'll claw his throat out. This plan goes fairly well, apart from the fact there's also a shocking betrayal from the people who live in the junkyards towards the people of Alexandria. Because originally they decide we're going to team up. However, the people of the junkyard decide to turn on the Alexandria citizens because Negan made them a better offer. The Alexandria citizens begin to fight back, only to be taken down and stopped. The problem is, at the point of where Negan is about to kill Carl right in front of Rick, breaking him forever, he is rescued by the people of the kingdom, as well as Carol, who is a recurring character who has changed quite a bit compared to the comic books, given she commits suicide in the comic books, but she's quite a strong female character in the TV show.
Hashtag Deus Ex Machina.
However, there is another character in the TV show who is exclusive to that. That is my personal favourite, Daryl Dixon. Now, if you know me, I like Daryl. Like, I'm cosplaying him as a Comic-Con this Saturday coming up.
I bought him a mug of Daryl for Christmas.
He did, and I love that mug. I still use it. Anyway, he is a good character and also quite developed throughout the show. I won't go into too much detail. The point is, the latest season of Walking Dead has been really good. There are a few seasons which weren't that enjoyable, but it has definitely come back and been more enjoyable overall. So if you haven't watched Walking Dead, I suggest you start, because it is quite driven by plot. Like, you might think it's about blood and gore. It's not. It's actually quite plot driven. I showed him a few bits earlier on today, and he actually was quite interested in what was going on. Like, it was
having no
quite
idea
tense.
what was going on.
Yeah, it gets explained through context and that, but he was interested in what was happening.
So, as you said, look at this actor, how good he is.
Yeah, and Stephen Hawke is a good actor. In case you're not aware of who Stephen Hawke is, he plays Simon, or he has also played Trevor in GTA.
Oh, he played Trevor.
Yeah, he played Trevor, and you have to admit Trevor is a very well acted character.
Very well acted.
Anyway, the fact is Stephen Hawke did do a lot of his practices in his underpants being Trevor. Just a little obscure fact for you today. Anyway, so my opinion of the latest season of Walking Dead, it is quite good, and it is definitely coming back as a show, and I look forward to the next season. Your final show?
Now, this is a show that came out a few years ago, and it got cancelled. There's meant to be 4 seasons. It got short by to 2 because of the viewership, and this is Utopia. I showed you the trailer. I didn't actually hear your thoughts. What do you think?
When I watched the trailer, I was intrigued as to what it was going to be about. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a metaphorical utopia or a literal utopia.
So, just to explain to you what Utopia is it's not it. There's
a utopia is an ideal society, essentially.
However, in the context of the TV show, it is a graphic novel. Something you are interested.
I love graphic novels. I know it's Walking Dead.
As everyone knows, there's a lot of conspiracies. Conspiracies. Yeah. And there's a conspiracy whether it's actually based on real life. And as they explained within the first few scenes, it's about a scientist who makes a deal with the devil. And the devil comes out in many human-like creatures,
as the devil chooses too,
with animal heads, most notably a rabbit, which, as you'll see, comes in later. Mysteriousness.
I do love the interest of this show. I am actually considering watching it after I am done watching 13 Reasons Why.
You can find us, by the way, on 4OD, just to know.
Oh, clearly, I've got online stuff to watch, so it's good.
The TV show, this is an extremely complex plot, and the way that the creator Dennis Kelly does it is he puts it into 6 episodes per series, which I think is amazing. Give me a wow, please.
You get a solid bam. 6 episodes per series.
So that means 12 episodes overall. Now, the acting's amazing. What the hell have you done?
I have no idea, but we've just become printed. Anyway.
He's an absolute
My apologies.
numpty.
No, I just slipped when I was trying to scroll up on the effects. That is my bad.
It's an incredibly well acted, and I think the characters, especially like they're not black and white. Everything's about morality. Everything's about what is right, what is wrong, and do you do stuff for the greater good? Which of course is adding to conspiracies, lots of things going on.
So what is your overall opinion of it, without going into too much spoiler?
It's probably my favourite series, and as you know, I love Fargo.
He does, quite a bit.
I've got both 2 box sets, and I
have
can't
watched
wait
the first season, and I quite enjoyed it.
Really? Didn't even tell me.
Oh, sorry, I meant to. Oh yeah, first season of Fargo, good season.
Lord Malfoy was a great character.
Good. Really great character.
You should watch season 2, and series 3 is coming out soon in
I'm
the
going to be
UK.
watching season 2 so I can get up to date for season 3.
And what was I going to say? It's actually coming in America, not in the UK. I cannot fucking wait. We're going to review it. Can I get a spud?
You get a spud.
The like sort of complexity, the acting, the story, but mostly there's 2 things that really win it. The visuals. It's the most beautiful looking thing I've ever seen on screen. Like if you think, to compare it to Season Reviews, who did a review on it, have you seen Mr. Robot?
I have.
It looks beautiful, right?
It does.
Imagine that on steroids.
That could be interesting.
That is what is this described as. And the soundtrack, I listen to on my MP3 because it's so good and it captures the atmosphere and the way the TV program is presented. And let's be honest, after the first season, if you don't like the character RB, you are insane.
That is true. Although he is insane.
I still love RB, which just shows how much lovability RB has. All the characters are extremely well developed, unlike 13 Reasons Why, and they did in 6 episodes. After the first season, the twist is so big, it changes the entire series.
That is true.
You haven't seen it, you can't say that is true. Yeah.
I don't mean that is true, like it is true, as in it's shocking, as in if it is that shocking, it will be true to be shocking.
There was meant to be a David Fincher created American remake. Start with Rooney Mara, but
don't let the Americans remake things. Point and evidence, the in-betweeners.
That didn't happen though.
Yeah.
And there's been rumours that either Amazon or Netflix will be trying to acquire it. However, I haven't heard any news on it.
So what is your final opinion?
It's a 10 out of 10 best TV show ever made, ever will be made, and never has been made in any dimension, past, present, future, in any black hole.
I do have one quick final comparison when it comes to TV shows I want to make, which I have hinted at twice, which is The American In-Betweeners. Now, I've watched a comparison video of one of the most famous scenes being bus wankers, and really, what were you idiots thinking?
Bus turds.
Bus turds?
Turds and wankers are 2 different things.
Let's face it, first of all, there's the differences in the characters, starting off with Will. In the British version, he's an awkward, socially inept kid who's a bit posh and a bit high and mighty.
Like me.
Yeah, he also wears glasses and stands out and looks physically deformed and unpopular, as a character like me, as a character would be.
We've both combined.
The second character, but in the American version, he's fairly handsome. You know, he looks fairly alright. You probably couldn't have told from the clip who he was, which one was meant to be Will, but he was the one behind Simon, or the one that was supposed to be Simon. The second character comparison is Neil. Now, in the British version, he's a bit simple, but at the same time, they don't play off that too much. However, in the American version, they make him into a complete retard.
Not only that, the most idiotic retard ever.
Literally, I watched The American In-Betweeners for this comparison, and I regret doing so because it has ruined the first season. Please do not make a second because you fucked it up.
It's been completely cancelled.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
Now Jay,
oh my god, where did they go?
A character who takes a piss out of fat people, it's cast
as a fat person. Let's also face, I mean, I can understand on American TV, you can't say shit, fuck, weak, nigger, wanker, all that fuck.
Hashtag Game of Thrones.
Hashtag Game of Thrones, but let's face it, you could still curse a little bit. The problem is, they don't seem like they're talking like teenagers. They just seem like they're just talking. I mean, teenagers in the British version, they talk like teenagers. We swear, we curse, we piss each other off. You know, but in the American version, they're way too tamed. Like, the fact is, in the British version, when Jay and Neil have been irritating Simon, Simon reluctantly and straightforwardly tells them to fuck off.
Why don't you just fuck off?
Apart from in the American version, where he just says, "Oh, screw you guys."
And the lines like that, me just want to punch them in the face.
Let's face it, that's true. The final character I hate the comparison is Simon. The fact is, in the English version, the correct version and good version, he is shy, awkward, and hopelessly hooked up on Carly. Apart from in the second movie. But the fact is, he feels like a natural character trying to get somewhere.
Alert.
Minor spoiler alert. He's trying to be himself and trying to be popular. However, in the American version, he's just someone who's there. The jokes aren't very well done either. One of the most classic jokes in the British one is when Will accidentally throws his frisbee and it goes to hit a disabled person. In the American version, it's too rushed. Will throws the football and it immediately hits a kid with crutches. There was no payoff, no timing.
Yeah.
Of course.
The fact they use a football and call it a football.
Yeah, it's not
It's
football.
not a football!
It's a rugby ball! Anyway, on with this. Will throws an American football and it hits a kid with crutches in a matter of seconds. There's not much payoff because no one ever brings it up again, or there's no real reaction. He's just like, oh god, what have I done? In the British version, the whole payoff is done. Will begins by throwing the frisbee, saying to the person he's throwing to, hey, catch! Then you see, as everyone follows the trajectory, realising where it's going to go, and then you see the reactions of people starting to run, including Jay doing the oh fuck and running. You then see the hitting of the person, and then the way she reacts, and then Will running up to her feeling afraid. There's also another second humorous part where he tries to retrieve the frisbee, only for then that person to try and take it. None of this happens in the American version. The British version has better timing with the jokes. They're also a bit funnier because of the way they're done.
Also censorship. Okay.
Yeah,
If you're gonna
I
say
can
shit,
understand.
don't bleep it.
If you're going to censor if you're going to censor the in-betweeners in America, don't make the in-betweeners in America. Let's face it, it's vulgar and proud. Sadly, though, that is all we have time for this episode. It has been a good video talking about many good things, as many good TV shows. It's been nearly an hour. I hope you have enjoyed it.
It has been an hour, and if you have any requests that you want us to check out, however, if you mention 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Darker, of Twilight, or anything like that,
I will punch you in the face incredibly hard.
I will hunt you down and make you watch it in a chair tied into my basement with only screens around you showing these films to make you realise how it feels.
I have seen that basement. You do not want to be locked in there. So thank you. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, feel free to tell your friends, or just give it a big thumbs up.
Also, leave a comment about how we can improve it. We're always up for a community.
Always ready for feedback.
Enjoy the Film Fan Critic and check me out when I next upload.
And be sure to check out the Game Fan Critic when I start my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.